And now the Asian Disaster Preparedness Center, or ADPC Executive Director Dr. Pichit Ratakun, has suggested that in order to mitigate natural disasters, governments must better prepare themselves not only by building capacity through international collaboration, but also prioritizing and incorporating disaster management into their development policies. Our Thai News Agency reporter Akanit Wichiantaron has more.
In 2009, all 10 ASEAN member countries ratified the ASEAN Agreement on Disaster Management and Emergency Response in a bid to establish a regional disaster management framework and to build a disaster resilient community by 2015. This agreement obliged Asian countries to collaborate in addressing disaster risk reduction and in improving preparedness for response. The efforts culminated to the formation of the ASEAN Coordinating Center for Humanitarian Assistance in order to undertake operational coordination of activities under the agreement. The ADPC Executive Director agreed that capacity building through international collaboration is crucial towards mitigating natural disasters. International collaboration is evidenced in two forms: direct assistance and knowledge sharing. When a natural disaster is so severe, a country is forced to ask for foreign assistance in terms of human power, loss estimation, technical expertise, and monetary aid. And when a country undergoes a natural disaster, it can, through knowledge sharing, educate other countries on how to better prepare themselves for a similar disaster. In an effort to promote multilateral cooperation, the ADPC initiated the formation of the Regional Consultative Committee, or the RCC. The RCC comprises 26 member countries and holds annual meetings that serve as a platform for capacity building and knowledge sharing. For capacity and knowledge to reach the ground, Dr. Pichit said governments must commit to forming a link between national policy and local development planning. For knowledge at the top to propagate to the bottom, local governments must establish national programs, either by themselves or in partnership with international institutions, to spread the knowledge from heads of disaster management offices to the local communities.
The village, the community, the district, small area, the islands. So we may have to make sure that they have the capacity to deal with situation by themselves, at least for the first 24 hours. Something like the search and rescue, first aid, evacuation, early warning, those kind of component is a capacity of the community that we want to build.
Dr. Pichit adds further that the incorporation of disaster management policies into local development planning is largely significant. The RCC, under its program on mainstreaming disaster risk reduction, urges all governments to change their perspectives regarding natural disaster. To more effectively mitigate them, governments must not view natural disasters as mere accidents, but must take into account the possibility of a natural disaster when designing local development planning. This entails that the governments perform pre-disaster loss estimations, hiring experts to estimate the loss associated with the natural disaster before the disaster strikes. The calculated estimation would encourage appropriate budget allocations as well as development planning.
We should integrating the concept of disaster management into all the development policy from the beginning. For example, like if the country would like to build the seaport, they have to think about disaster content from the beginning when they plan to build the seaport. It not just let them build the seaport, which is development program, and hopefully there's nothing wrong with the casualty that may take place from the disaster.
With impending climate change, natural disasters are continually becoming not only more frequent but more severe. In order to cope with them, governments must collaborate even more and must prioritize disaster management, placing it near, if not at the forefront of their development policy. Most importantly, natural disasters must not be looked upon as an accident, but must be understood as a component of development as a whole. Akanit Wichiantaron, Thai News Agency, reporting for ASEAN TV.